Okay, let us go through the Comptia A acronyms list, because there's nothing that will bring a grown man to tears like a pages-long acronym list that you are expected to memorize. I hate memorization. Let's start with A. Alternating current. You should already be familiar with this. Electrical current that flows back and forth. AC is used in power transmission lines that go from the power generation plant to your home. Once at your home, the power is stepped down to 120 volts. It can also be 115 volts. In your computer's power supply, the AC power is turned into DC power that the computer can use. ACL, Access Control List, something I don't expect you to be familiar with. An access control list determines which users or groups can access a particular set of directories, usually refers to files and directories. Microsoft's Active Directory includes this tech, as does Linux and Mac in some file systems and file system extensions. You'll also find access control lists in routers and firewalls. If you want certain pieces of equipment to not communicate with each other or not communicate with the outside internet, you will do so here. ACPI, Advanced Configuration Power Interface, does exactly what it says on the tin. It is a standard that computer manufacturers conform to so that the operating system vendors do not have to write code for Dell PC power management that is different from code for HP PC power management that is different from code for Lenovo PC power management, and so forth. This technology replaces APM. ADF, Automatic Document Feeder, the part of a multifunction printer or a copier that takes multiple pages and reads them one at a time through a scanner. If you have a problem with one, the first thing to do is look for debris. Paper clips are these things kryptonite. Standalone scanners can have ADF units, but I've never seen one. ADSL, Asymmetrical Digital Subscriber Line, usually called just DSL. A technology that lets high-speed data travel along existing phone lines. It's limited by how far your phone is from your phone company's equipment. AES, Advanced Encryption Standard, the current encryption standard that most computer companies and hobbyist groups use, created in 2001. Replaces Data Encryption Standard, which was introduced in 1977 and was breakable from the start. AHCI, Advanced Host Controller Interface. Here's one that is obscure. AHCI was introduced with SATA. It's the preferred way for your operating system to communicate with a SATA controller. If your operating system was too old to communicate with a SATA controller, you could set it to parallel ATA mode, sometimes called IDE mode, and the OS could read and write to the drive. Windows XP did not have support for AHCI out of the box. All later Windows OSs did support AHCI. Changing the mode of a SATA drive from AHCI to IDE or from IDE to AHCI without first changing the Windows registry to notify Windows of the change will result in Windows failing to boot and then restarting. The most common way for this change to happen: replacing the system board. Check the firmware and change the SATA mode if you find yourself having Windows constantly rebooting after replacing a system board. This has bit me multiple times. AP, access point. I call these wireless access point, and so should everybody else. Comptia A calls these things APs just to confuse you. APIPA, Automatic Private IP Addressing. A Microsoft acronym for a more general concept: link local address. If your network card can see a network, but is not given an IPv4 address by a local DHCP server, it will give itself an IPv4 address between 169.254.0.1 and 169.254.255.254. If your computer gets on a network and doesn't get an IPv6 address, it will give itself an address that starts with FE80. Try this for yourself. Type in ipconfig in a command line under Windows, or ifconfig under Linux, or IP address in newest Linux distros. ifconfig has been deprecated. If you find that your IPv6 address starts with FE80, your local network administrator hasn't set up IPv6 yet. I should really get to work on that. APM, Advanced Power Management, an older power management system, last updated in 1996. The only part of it that survives today is in serial and parallel ATA drives. ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. Hold on, let me get back. I've managed to lose my place on the page. APM. ARP, there we go. Address Resolution Protocol, the main protocol used by IPv4 networks to manage where packets ought to go. Hideously insecure, no authentication at all. It's still a standard. ASR, Automated System Recovery. A feature of Windows XP where the system and boot volumes are restored from previously made backups. An act of last resort, as the system and boot volumes are reformatted during this process. I've never used this feature, and with the death of XP, I believe this acronym does not belong on this list. ATA, Advanced Technology Attachment, the original and correct name for parallel ATA drives, but everybody called them IDE drives. ATA-PI, Advanced Technology Attachment Packet Interface. Originally, IDE drives were just for hard drives. Removable devices were not thought of in the specification. ATA-PI extended ATA so that SCSI commands could be sent over the ATA interface. With ATA-PI, you can connect optical drives, tape drives, zip drives, and a few other removable devices. ATM, Asynchronous Transfer Mode, another old technology. Wikipedia tells me that it was developed for use in ISDN. It has also been integrated into the public switched telephone network. Maps onto the bottom three layers of the OSI model. Layer 7, the physical layer, Layer 6, data link layer, and Layer 5, network layer. ATM also stands for Automated Teller Machine, which is the more common acronym in daily life, but the Comptia A tests will likely test you on asynchronous transfer mode.
You have to do ATM on an ATM.
Yay. ATX, Advanced Technology Extended. The motherboard, power supply, and case design that everybody uses today was started by Intel in 1995. There was a BTX standard that Intel tried between 2002 and 2004, but it is dead now. AUP, Acceptable Use Policy. A document that you allegedly agreed to by clicking I agree, or something that you actually agreed to by signing your name. Details what you are allowed to do and not to do with the network and or computer's provided by your organization. If you're in charge of writing one, you should consult with a lawyer. AV, audio video. Why an acronym already known by the general public is in this list is beyond me. When I think of AV, I think of the yellow video, red audio, and white audio connectors at the back of my TV, VCR, and DVD player. Oh, and my PlayStation 2. People oftentimes call these RCA connectors because that's the firm that originally popularized them. Okay, that's all the A acronyms, and I am actually now tired of speaking.